Long ago, in the heart of the Umadim kingdom, there stood a small but prosperous village known as Obis. Their lands were rich, their rivers pure, and their farms ever yielding. The people believed all this was made possible by a feared yet revered deity called Otanda, the god of abundance and harvest. Every planting season, the king of Obi summoned the people for an important announcement. "Groom your daughters well," he would say. "Keep their bodies spotless and their minds cheerful. For only those without blemish and sorrow shall the gods accept." Each year, 5 young maidens between the ages of 12 and 15 were chosen. They were told they had been favored by Otanda, selected to enter the golden door. A mysterious entrance carved into a massive Iroko tree at the village's edge. They were promised wealth, honor, and the god's hand in mystical marriage if they pleased him. But no one ever returned. And no one asked why. The people were forbidden to question the rituals. Mothers lied to daughters. Fathers praised the chosen. The truth, that these girls were sacrifices, was buried in silence. Among the young girls of the village was a spirited girl named Ruth, daughter of a palm wine tapper. From the age of 10, Ruth longed to be chosen. She believed in everything the elders said. She believed that inside the golden door was paradise. She kept her skin flawless, avoided play that might cause injury, and walked with pride, often boasting, "Otanda will choose me. I am perfect." At 13, Ruth was finally chosen. Her family danced with joy. She walked to the sacred tree with her head high, dressed in white, her anklets chiming with each step. But as she entered the golden door, something strange happened. The door vomited her out. She landed in the red soil, confused, bruised only from the fall. The priest gasped in horror. "Otanda has rejected her," they murmured. "She is cursed." But Ruth checked herself, no sores, no wounds. She was spotless. Yet the gods had seen something else. The following year, she tried again. Again, she was chosen. Again, the golden door rejected her. A third year came, and with determination, she fought her way into selection. And once again, the gods refused her. Her peers mocked her. 3 times rejected. Even the gods cannot stand you. But Ruth did not understand. She cried by the riverbank. She shouted to the skies, "What have I done? Why do the gods hate me?" Then, one season, strangers arrived in the village, white-robed people with a strange language. They carried books and spoke of a God who was not Otanda. A God who did not demand the blood of children. A living God named Jesus Christ. Ruth was drawn to their songs, their peace, and the love they spoke of. For the first time, she heard that God could choose someone not because they were flawless, but because He loved them. As the villagers grew restless and the Igui bound the missionaries, Ruth secretly visited them. One of the missionaries, Mama Grace, took her in and told her, "Child, you were never rejected. You were protected. God blinded their eyes so they would not destroy you. The sores the gods saw were not on your skin, they were signs of a greater power shielding you." Tears filled Ruth's eyes. "Why me?" she asked. Mama Grace smiled. "Because God has a plan. Not to harm you, but to prosper you." That season, as pressure grew and the village demanded new sacrifices, lightning struck the golden door during a storm, splitting it in half. The priest fled. Otanda's shrine burned down. In the confusion, many turned to the missionaries for help, for answers, for healing. Ruth stood with them, not as a sacrifice, but as a testimony. And in time, she became a teacher of the gospel, telling girls, "I was rejected by the gods, but chosen by the true God." After the destruction of the Golden Door and the fall of Otanda's shrine, Ruth becomes a symbol of divine mercy and protection. As Christianity spreads, many villagers begin to question the old traditions. But beneath the ashes of the shrine, something dark stirs. An old priest who escaped the shrine's fall reappears with a forbidden object, the crown of Otanda, said to carry the spirit of the ancient god. He begins visiting homes at night, offering protection and power in exchange for loyalty. Secret cults begin to rise again. Ruth starts to have prophetic dreams, visions of blood, fire, and a mysterious figure warning her that the gods have not given up. Mama Grace tells Ruth she must prepare spiritually, for God has called her to break the remaining chains of darkness. One of Ruth's closest friends, Abigail, is drawn into the secret cult for power. She believes Ruth stole her destiny by surviving. The two girls now stand on opposite sides of a brewing spiritual war. A charismatic man comes into the village, performing miracles in Otanda's name. Many are deceived, including Ruth's own father. Ruth begins to feel alone, but she clings to Jesus and confronts the man publicly, sparking a spiritual showdown. The old priest tries to perform a new sacrifice on the mountain altar. Ruth, led by the Holy Spirit, climbs the mountain with other believers and confronts the cult in prayer. Thunder cracks, and the crown of Otanda bursts into flames. Ruth finally realizes the full purpose of her rejections. She was not meant to enter the Golden Door, but to destroy it. She is anointed by the missionary church and becomes the youngest evangelist in her region, preaching not only deliverance, but purpose through pain.